fictional character or somebody that you knew or put together because...
She's what writers call a composite character, so she's a composite of several different young women who I know, but there is no one would read the book or see the movie and say, oh, you know, I'm going to get my lawyer.
You did a beautiful job.
Thank you.
You back there.
What was the question, Carol? Why did you decide after 8 years to come forward?
Why did you make Lee Daniels chase you for 8 years to do it? And will the group scene that's later on in the book also if we can't get into the actual gala?
I didn't hear the last part of your question.
For those who couldn't get tickets to the gala because everything's sold out,
Right.
will the group scene that happens later on in the book be in the movie? Can't wait until November to find out.
Are you talking about the interaction with the students? Is that a part of the book?
No. When she goes downtown with her friends. And
That particular scene where she goes to the survivor meeting, you have to read the book. See, for some things you're gonna have to read the book. That's not in it, but there are several very touching scenes of her interaction with the teacher and other young friends. It's really beautiful. Yeah. And you know, okay.
Hi, Sapphire. I'd like to know why did it take you 8 years to decide to tell the story?
Okay, well, you know, it was my baby. I was very attached to it. The people who initially approached me about doing the film, I didn't. I viewed, you know, people just like people approach you about anything. I looked at the work they sent me. I looked at their credits. I looked at who I thought they were, and I didn't feel that they could do justice to the story. And I didn't make Lee chase me for 8 years. He approached me, and at the time he approached me, he had actually not produced any films. And then he produced Monsters Ball, and his people called my people and said, oh, tell her to come see this Monsters Ball, you know, I'm having a screening. And I didn't even go see it. Then I was just walking down the street and it was showing at a theater, and I went in and I watched Monsters Ball and I said, oh my God, this guy, he could do this, he could do this. And so it was not an ego thing. It was not being, you know, hard to get. I saw his work. It was credible. It was fantastic. And I said he could do this. And that other people who approached me, I looked at their work, and I didn't think they could do it. So that was where I was coming from.
Hi, Sapphire. I was just discussing with my friends that this theme of Black women being sexually assaulted by family members seems to be a popular theme in African American literature. Yeah. So I'm just wondering why you yourself wanted to explore that.
Yeah, it is. It's not so much a popular theme. I'm thinking back right now to the life of Linda Brent, which was one of the first slave narratives. In fact, one of the first slave narratives that was written by a slave. Many of the other slave narratives that were written, which is the basis of African American literature, were told to usually white missionary women, and they would record the stories of the African slave women, and they would leave out this aspect of their lives, the sexual abuse. So there's been a way that, and I think that's why you can find that so prominently from The Bluest Eye to The Color Purple, is that this experience has been cut from our lips. Our tongues have been cut out, and we have not been allowed to talk about it, but yet it is a part of our life, you know what I mean? So there becomes that way. Are you sensationalizing a bad experience? No, we're just speaking it. We're speaking it, and then perhaps other people who hear it sensationalize it. But because it is a aspect of our culture, a negative aspect of our culture, I think Black women writers have a need to say it. And so let me go even further back. Part of it is that we as African Americans, as products of slavery, we are the products of incest. So the reason, you know, I don't look like I'm from Nigeria totally, is because my earliest ancestor was a white slave master who had sex with a black slave woman. So this is part of our culture, and we will continue to, you know, put this laundry on the line, whether people like to hear it or not. Okay, oh, okay.
I just want to thank you very much for coming to Canada, especially Toronto, to do your reading. We really appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
My question was, what was your first reaction for you, knowing the fact that they were going to make a film out of this book?
It wasn't so much like knowing that they were gonna make a film about it, because for it to happen, I had to agree to it. So, but you know, people are always gonna do something and stuff, you know what I mean? So, but I think when it became real for me, even when we were like looking at the actors who were coming in and auditioning and stuff, but I think when it really became real for me was when I actually went down. It was in the Chelsea to one of the sets where they were filming it, and I was saying, oh my God, you know, this is just like in the movies, you know what I mean? And it became real for me. And up until then, it was like kind of talk, and it was like fantasy, and you're signing a contract, and there's an agent here and an agent there, and you're nipping back and forth. But the actual reality that it was going to be a film didn't really hit me until I was on the set and saw, you know, the actors sweating, you know. And then my reaction was, you know, this is going to be bigger than I had ever thought. You know, I just, you know what, I had a little literary crowd of people, and they would read my books and I would read their books, and you know, we would go to coffee shops and stuff, and what is that, a couple hundred people? So the idea that maybe millions of people would see a film was overwhelming to me.
Sapphire, we have one last question.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Sapphire.
Hi.
And after reading this amazing book, I was just wondering, I don't think I've noticed any second or third books. Do you have any, or?
Yeah, let me give you my playlist. Okay, so my first book was American Dreams. My second book was Push, and my third book was Black Wings and Blind Angels. So that's you know, I'm not a marketing person. That is available now at Barnes & Noble. That's a book of poetry, and I'm currently negotiating with people for my fourth book, which is a novel. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sapphire.